folks, welcome to the Whiskered Woodcarver. I'm Jeff C., a visual marketing and live video specialist, and this is the show where I carve for about 30 minutes and I just chat with my friends. It's kind of a laid-back show where we just get to talk and have maybe kind of a nice relaxing time together at the end of the day. We always have a topic we talk about, and today's is, what are you hilariously bad at? And I'll share mine here in a little bit. But I want to appreciate Joshua Kennedy is here in the house. He's already said he's hilariously bad at understanding social norms. So that is funny, Josh. But always, I'd love for you guys to connect with me. The best way to do that now is just text me at 903-287-9088. That's 903-287-9088. It's a new service that I'm using that lets me kind of skip some of the algorithms and get right to the point and be able to talk directly to you guys. So just text that number, put WW for Whiskered Woodcarver, or just, hey, Jeff, I saw your show on Whiskered Woodcarver, whatever it is. And that way we can connect over there. So let's jump right to the carving cam and get started. As always, I got to put on my... It's kind of like Mr. Rogers, for those of you who grew up with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. You know, he'd always have to come in and put on his sweater. It's kind of me putting on the protective apparatus here. So, yeah, and we always start. Josh will let me know if I forget to always start with sharpening the old knives. The old knives up before we get started. We are continuing to carve, on the... call him the Santa Gnome. So that's where we're so far. This is the final product right there. He's a little different this time. I kind of like the way this guy's nose is looking compared to the first one I ever did. So, but I don't know about you. I'm glad it's Friday. I'm looking forward for the weekend. It's kind of chilling out a little bit. May still do some carving, but nice. I need to do some painting on some of the carvings that we have done in the past, but I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Josh will take a taser to me sometime if I forget to use forget to sharpen the knives. Because you're right, Josh. A sharp knife is a safe knife. So Eva is... Which I'm assuming you're saying you're ridiculously bad at golf and crafts. So it's really cool now that it's pulling up. I can pull up you guys' avatar on screen with some new updates. So golf. So I haven't played golf since high school, Eva. That's how I would be ridiculously bad at that too. So what are you saying? All crafts? Like every single craft there is? That's a broad spectrum of things to be ridiculously bad at. She says yes. That's funny. So I know I would be ridiculously bad, hilariously bad at golf if I would try that now. So I played on Rossville High School's golf team, and the main reason we did it is we didn't have to pay green fees. We just could go up and golf every day after school. And then when I got in college, I couldn't afford green fees. So Joshua says, everyone's bad at golf, but just nobody accepts it. I know some pretty good golfers, but yeah, there's a lot of people I think just like to use as an excuse to go outside, be outdoors, which isn't a bad thing. So, continuing to carve on Mr. Gnome Santa here. I need to figure out a way where to put him. So I'm ridiculously bad at dressing myself at fashion. She just looks for the expensive lost balls. Yeah, sell them. Yep. I am very bad at fashion. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I like to wear the same thing now that I'm older every day because I don't have to think about it. Even in high school, I would go and see what the mannequin was wearing at the store, and I would just get that. So I am horrible. And my kids would tell you that. that I do not have a good... I'm all for Star Wars t-shirts and cargo pants. Yes, I am. And I wear, like what you see me now, these bowling shirts, wear them everywhere. I wear them when I speak at conferences, I wear them to church, kind of my signature thing, but it's mainly because I can barely dress myself. I just don't like to, it just isn't something that I enjoy. I can go in and get like stuff before I have to go on a trip. Like if I need to get some new clothes, it takes me 15 minutes. I don't agonize over it. I know what to get. So Eva goes, Ron has done that to me before. Because I can just go in shopping, and I love my wife, but she loves it. She loves to browse and look and try things on. I would rather go to the dentist than have to do that. And that's why I love online shopping. I have been a Prime member since, I don't know, since it like first started, when I look back at my membership, forever. So, yeah. So we've got golf. We've got... So I saw you had some awesome news, Josh. I didn't have a chance to read it. So I'm figuring you got some job that you were trying to get, which is, I'm assuming, is what you were talking about, which is very awesome. Right here, I'm just trying to take this arm, get some definition here around his little cuff. Hey, there's Ramon Ray. How are you doing? Ramon, my pal. Good to see you here on a Friday. So, Ramon, I really want to know, what are you ridiculously bad at? Would it be, I mean, for me, it's like, it's fashion. I'm not good at fashion, as you can probably tell. No surprise, but I want to know, Ramon, what are you hilariously bad at? And Ramon is an amazing speaker. If you guys don't know Ramon Ray, he does awesome stuff. Very good speaker. So here we go. Still trying to figure out and get some of this blockiness off of the kind of the sides. So I continue to take it down a little bit. So, Josh, I don't think you're bragging at all. I'm also ridiculously bad at spelling. I am so thankful that spell check and Grammarly came out right when I was getting into school, and now at my job, if I didn't have spell check and all the tools that let me do that, oh my goodness. But I am a horrifically bad speller, and I still have words that I read really fast when I was a kid. I love to read. but I would mispronounce things in my mind, and I still have those that I say, and my wife will laugh at me. She'll go, "What was that again?" So I still say, instead of errand, I say errand. I don't know why. Because I read it that way when I was a kid, and I will have to catch myself not to say that. And in the in the Chronicles of Narnia books, the place their like palace was in, it's Cair Paravel. I would always call Carpravel. That's the way I said it in my mind, and so I am a horrible speller. So, yeah, some of that stuff you just gotta laugh about. I'm never gonna be a great speller, but thank goodness we've got tools now that we don't have to worry about it as much. I mean, it's important to spell, in case my kids are listening. And math is important too. That's what they tell us. So I need to kind of get some more definition here on this beard. I sound like your husband, Eva. That's funny. I knew that's why I liked Ron. So what am I going to use here? See if I can take some of this down. I see that right. This is just kind of a flat little gouge that I like to use. Take some of this down around the beard. Like I said before, this pattern that I got out of the magazine didn't give you a lot of instructions. It pretty much gave you a picture. It didn't even say, okay, a lot of the patterns that you'll get, you'll say, use a number, this size of skew or a veinner or something. This one you just kind of had to guess with. So, yeah, Dad says, math may be important, but wood carving is importanter. Yes. Very true. Trying to get some, like I said, more definition around this this mustache. I have to start rounding his belly a little bit. So, Dad, what would you say you're really ridiculously, hilariously bad at? Because I want to see if I inherited any from you. It's probably keeping your office clean, because I remember that when I was a kid, and I may have inherited that from you. Typing. Okay. I kind of had to learn how to do that out of necessity. Yeah, you should read some of my dad's text. We keep some of them because they're so funny. Julie and I do. Oh, his shop's not too dirty. His shop's cleaner than his office was, Joshua. So trying to round these trees are still pretty square. I don't really want them that square looking here, so I need to start rounding these up a little bit too. Or writing, there were times I couldn't read what he wrote. Yeah, messy but not dirty. See, that is key. I know where exactly everything is, what pile it's in. About 14 minutes. Like that. Just kind of rounding the edges off a little bit. Making a good little pile of chips today. Just kind of a knot here. Hey, Josh, you better be careful what you're saying about, your wife. She could be watching this, and there's always a replay. So you need to be a little bit smart about what you're saying out in the world. You never know. Oops, wrong one. This is that big gouge that I like to take off of wood quickly. Lets me get a little bit deeper. She could, Josh. She could. Trying to get some of these little fuzzies out around the face where I didn't have a bunch of room. Yeah, it's starting to take shape there. I think so. Getting there. Sometimes it feels like it's never getting anywhere. And this is a little like a tougher one, like I've been saying. At least for me. You watch some of those people on YouTube and they just crank it out. They've been doing it for 30 years, some of those old timers. You get a little discouraged, but you also can learn a lot. Like, oh, I didn't know you. Oh, I could do that. So that's kind of fun. So I like to tell my kids, I'm like, if you want to learn something, man, there's no better time than right now. I would have killed to be able to look some of this stuff up and see it and how it's done on YouTube. And like even from playing the banjo, we had to go, Mom found somebody and we had to travel and go do all this stuff, and not to mention like carving and all this stuff. Now you can just go find some pro online doing it and you can watch them. That's, to me, that's pretty amazing. And sometimes we need to stop watching content and start creating it ourselves, I think. So I'll trim this mustache up a little bit. And there's the Cooler Wolf over from Mixer, which is not going to be around much longer. But thanks for stopping by. The Cool Wolf 313. Good to see you here. Trying to just get some definition around this mustache here. That. Cool, thanks for staying. Let's see here. Just trying to... There we go. Try to define that a little more. So Dad says that's a tough carving, hard to visualize in a block of wood. Doug Linkter carved a little bear I last carved, said his video he had carved one every day that week. Yeah, that's why I like kind of doing like I did the penguin so much, just because you learn stuff every time. And I kind of I like to do I really should do this one again, even after I've done this one, is to get it down. Like I've kind of done with I do some Christmas bears, and I've kind of got, those down, but continuing to refine your technique is always good. And every block of wood is different. You'll have the grain run in different ways sometimes, and sometimes, like Dad discovered, he had a big old knot in one of his snowmen he was doing, which you always have to be a little bit flexible. But I don't think there's not been one that hasn't been salvageable. There's probably ones that I didn't like the way they turned out, but I don't think I've ever thrown away block of wood. I'm able to turn it into something else or fix it or something like that. Watch me say that and throw this away. There we go. Kind of got some definition now around that side. I like it when those little pieces of wood curl up like that. I think that's very zen-like, very relaxing. It's like those old-fashioned planers that they used to have, those hand planes, where they would just curl up a really slice of wood, paper thin. Always like that. So Lisa Jenkins says, I am hilariously trash panda bad at video games, but I love them, so I keep playing them. You know, I would say I'm the same, Lisa. I've been a gamer for a long time. I am not good. I would not stream anything that I'd play. But I like the stories on some of them. So I really like, you know, I like to play through the storylines of things. Because I like stories. So the Cool Wolf 313 over Mixer asks, what kind of wood do I use? I am using basswood. A lot of carvers use basswood. I like it. It's light but dense, and it's relatively easy to carve and paint. So I really like basswood. I would like to try some cottonwood tree, those little like fairy tree houses I get, that are made out of those cottonwood bark. I really want to try carving those sometime. But they say they really, because sand and stuff is in it because of the driftwood kind of stuff, that it can really dull your blades and almost use a whole nother set on those kind of carvings. But I always like the way they look, so it's one of my things to do. Yeah, the stories are amazing. There's some really good ones that I've played. And now, Lisa, I'm really into the Oculus Quest. That is a whole nother level. That VR stuff is amazing. I nerd out on that stuff. So my wife says the bread machine beeped and says complete. Do I need to do anything? Nope. I'll be in a second, and we'll start the pizza. We're making homemade pizza with the bread machine tonight. So in about 2 minutes. See how I timed that out? So my internet is just one big messaging board for my family, my life. She probably actually thought that was a message, and it was actually on Facebook. So Lisa says, I just cannot. My inner ear is super sensitive, and I will toss cookies for you in less than 2 minutes. They have settings on there, so it makes it less of that. There's like comfortable settings in some of the games that I use those too, because there's like sit down things. But I seriously, Lisa, like when I was able to go back and walk the streets where I grew up in Google Maps, it was amazing. I teared up a little bit. I'm not ashamed to say. It was amazing. And the cool thing is, when I was in London, I took my 360 camera and I can upload those to my my VR set, and you can actually walk around and look and see what I was looking at when I was walking around London. Very, very cool memories. So, yeah, pretty fun. I need to upload those now that we're all locked down. Maybe people would like to see those. There's one where I'm like walking with Ian around London, which was really fun. We went up to the Eye together. I did that in 360 video, which was kind of fun. So we are getting there. If you're wondering what this weird thing is here on the side, I haven't decided what I'm gonna do. See, this one had the sleeve come farther and had like a more of a defining thing, and I may be able to get that to work on this one. I haven't decided yet, so I've kind of had like 2 backup places that I can carve to as I kind of add some more definition and take some wood off. So we'll see what happens there. About 19 seconds. Yeah, the eye was really fun. We were actually walking around London, Lisa, and that was when that time they had the record heat, and we were doing photo shoots, and I had one of these polyester bowling shirts on. We were dying. I was dying. But and it was really cool because we had a guy taking us around who was a photographer who had lived in London all his life and was giving us all the history and all this other cool stuff. I would go back just to hear that again because that was a lot of fun. So look at that. Look how much we got done this week. Pretty amazing. Getting there. I'm liking the way this guy's coming with his nose. Anyway, thank you guys so much for showing up today. Oh, we got to sharpen. Joshua will get on me if I don't do that, so we'll just sharpen the knives really quick. Yeah, the London humidity is a huge thing. It was super, super hot that day. That's why the eye was nice, because it was air conditioned, but we had to wait outside forever in the heat. So there we go. Knives are sharpened. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me go back to my main camera. Thank you so much for everything. Make sure that you connect with me at 903-287-9088. I love to talk to you directly. That goes right to my phone with a new messaging tool that I'm using called Community. Love to talk to you guys there. And as always, I want you guys to remember 4 things. Number 1, we're apart, but we're not alone. Number 2, wash your hands. Number 3, hug those people around you if you can. And number 4, continue to pray for the doctors and nurses on the front lines. Stuff is still rising in certain areas, and they need all the prayers we can give them. And with that, everybody, I appreciate you. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, the Cool Wolf 313, and Eva and Dad, and everybody watching. Joshua, of course. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again on Monday. Talk to you guys later. Bye now.